Hello everybody, I'm the Fox and this is Formula 1 2020. Now I'm going to fly through the start of this video because there's not much to it. I'm going to go through my activities, I'm going to boost up my department morale and my second driver attributes. Then I'm going to go into R&D, I'm going to develop durability in my MGUH. I'm going to swap out my MGUH in my current car for a brand new one and a brand new gearbox, which is going to serve me a grid penalty as well during the Silverstone race. Also I'm going to upgrade the chassis department, which is going to give me more development points to play with in the near future. Then I'm going to switch out the design of my car for the Formula 1 70 years anniversary design, just to show a bit of respect because Silverstone is the birthplace of Formula 1. So here we go to Silverstone. You join us here on Q1 and we're riding on board of my car as we're going through the new pit straight and we flat out through Albi on the right hand side and we bring it down to the left and we slow right down here at the village for the slow right hander, and then we keep it low, keep it in second and third, around the loop and power out, keeping it wide, making it a kink at entry to the first DRS zone down the Wellington Straight. And then down to Brooklands, where we take a lot of curb there and we see ourselves setting up nicely for Luffield. And then powering out for the old pit straight. And dare we not take our foot off the pedal as we go right here to Cops. And it's uphill and we are greeted for the first few bends of Maggots and Beckett's. Left, right, and you hold on. And brake and left and right again. And that's a left at Chapel. DRS zone once more. And we're on to the Hangar Straight. And it's uphill for the long right hander of Stowe. And it's back downhill past the pit entrance. And it's a left at Vale. And right at Vale. And setting yourself wide for Club. Hit the curb and adds a lap of Silverstone.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Now, as you just have seen, we just barely made it into Q2 and we want to make the most of it as much as we can because we are going to be faced with a grid penalty. A 5-place grid penalty.
We're currently in the drop zone. We need you to move up into the top 10 or we won't progress to the shootout.
And we won't. We actually won't. So sorry for the spoiler, but we won't. But I will say that I do have a lot of memories of here in Silverstone, especially with a season that myself and my good friend Hood Robin had a couple of years ago, where it was neck and neck in the championship points, and this was the one place, and it was raining in Silverstone that I took, I think it was 4th or 5th, well ahead of Hood Robin, but because of my connection, it turned out that I had lagged out of the game, and when we loaded the save file from Hood Robin's account, I was no longer winning, and that I think would have cost me that title that year. But we hope to see that again, and we were actually planning to do this another season, so I hope to bring it on here, so watch this space.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula 1 World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. Silverstone circuit then, It's 3.6 miles long and has a total of 18 corners. And of course, is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hanger Straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Albon, Ricciardo, Perez, Stroll, and Lando Norris, Gasly, Kvyat, Carlos Sainz, and Giovinazzi, Ocon, Raikkonen, Kevin Magnussen, and Roman Grosjean, Russell, Latifi, Green, they've taken a grid penalty, and Nikita Mazepin. And now it's time to head down to the track.
It wouldn't be Silverstone if it wasn't raining. Here we are, 5 lights. And they're out, and we get off just the line, a bit shaky, the car was drifting off to the left, but as we stay along the outside, we try and make the cheeky moves along the outside, and we find ourselves right behind Ocon, and we try to take it down the inside of Village and hold it along the loop, and maybe get a good tow here at entry and down the Wellington straight. And if you can see by the indicators on the bottom of the screen, I don't get that, and Giovinazzi actually overtakes me here coming into Brooklands. As he tried to stay with him, I tried to get the car up the inside for Luffield, and it doesn't work.
That's a decent start. Good job.
Along the old pit straight now, Ocon behind me is gaining ground, and he has determination. Have a look on the inside of Cops, and it just doesn't commit to it as I squeeze him out. Lap 5, we get the DRS zone behind Gasly as we make up ground. And he's been held up by Stroll ahead of him, and in the braking area of Stoke Corner, and we're up right behind them, and we decided to have a good chance and a good look down the inside of Vale, where Gasly backs off and lets me have the place, and we chase after Stroll into Maggots and Beckett's lap 13. I get it all wrong, and I'm severely punished by the red Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel as he gets the DRS as well and pulls away along the old Hanger straight. Along the old pit straight, and there's the first Red Bull of Albon, and there's the Red Bull of Verstappen, who hurts me out of Cop's corner, and it once again nudges me out and elbows out at Maggots, which really ruins the rhythm for me through the S-bins there. But I do get the DRS, but it's no good to me. He's just outpaced me. Now we're just putting in here early at lap 16, switching onto the softs for the last 10 laps of the race.
Release. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Now we're following Ocon here at Stowe. We have a faster tire than him. The car is awfully lighter. We haven't looked down inside Vale, and it get a bit of elbows, and outside there he gets the better exit out, and there's Raikkonen, gives me a nudge outside of Club, and I stay ahead. Now we're behind Giovanni at Cops. and we wait, and we go left and right and left, and we stick behind them. Here at Maggots of Beckett's and powered out for Chapel DRS. We turn up the engine mode.
In this engine mode much longer, we're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
And as we do so, we drop down the fuel mode. Giovanni tries to go back up the inside of cops. It doesn't work, it gets it wrong. And that's the race of Silverstone.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. Should be proud. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Green. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Yes, and we'll see you next time at the Hungaroring. Till next time, I'm the Fox and you're amazing.